Welcome. A lot of people ask me how do I do a 3D print, and I have a New Matter Mod T 3D printer, relatively inexpensive, $399 printer. It was a really successful Indiegogo campaign about 2 years ago. It's a pretty straightforward printer to use, and I'll give you a how-to. The files are something you don't have to create yourself. There's a marketplace or a shared site where everyone shares files, and they must have, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of files at this point. So I want to print a little excavator, and so I'll show you how to on the Thingiverse site. There we are, we have it. So you find what you're looking to print at the Thingiverse site, and people share the actual file. It's an STL file, a stereolithography file. So we click on the Thing Files and download the little digger. You can see there's two versions here, and the author probably explains what they changed in the second version. So because we've done this print already, we'll go ahead and mimic saving it. You would just click the file and then save the file to your local drive, and then you have a file ready to use. Now, the way New Matter works is they have a simple interface at newmatter.com. It's just store.newmatter.com, and you can just go ahead and upload a print. So we'll take that little digger file that we downloaded and just drag it into this upload section, and you can see it does a layout of the item. Now, it laid this down correctly with the flat side down. Doesn't always do that with all models, but as you go along, you'll learn how to use it. So in this case, we would click Next, and then name it, and it would save it to our library at the New Matter store. Since we already have it, we'll just go ahead and click the item, and then click Print. And as you can see, there are some default settings: high speed, balanced, or high quality. If you're familiar, 3D prints take quite a long time, and so some people just need a high-speed print. If they're printing a little bracket or a hook or something like that, they'll go high speed and lower quality. I like to go balanced and actually alter a couple of things. This print, even though it has moving parts, this did not require supports. Supports help support a piece that might collapse as the print head goes across and tries to reach the next section. Picture a bridge, and there being no supports under a bridge, the filament goes across and just drops, and the entire print is ruined. There's also something that's turned on that slows a print down. It's called carriage lift, and what it does is it lifts the carriage between movements and stops the print head from catching the print and tearing it off or pulling it off of its foundation and ruining your print. So if I were printing an Eiffel Tower model or something like that, I would absolutely have carriage lift on. It's delicate. Something like this, it's not needed, and I don't want to waste the extra time. So I'll turn carriage lift off, turn supports off, and then I'm fine with the other settings. You can change the layer height, the fill density, which the more density you have, the harder the part, the stronger the part it is, but also the longer it takes to print. So in this case, it doesn't see that my printer is on, so I'll just go ahead and add it to my queue. It's a really straightforward process once it's in your queue to go ahead and play or start that print. Now the Mod T has wireless built in, so you connect it to your Wi-Fi network when you get the printer, and that way you can transmit your files wirelessly. It's a pretty quick process. The files are not that large. So when you do go into your queue, you can see the digger is in there. I don't know what it hung up on. If our printer was on, this button would be active. We could simply click play, and then the front of our printer has a single button, very Apple-like that way. There's a single button on the entire printer. The button flashes rapidly, press the button, and it begins the print process. So we'll show the motion capture of this little digger printing along with the final resulting item. So as you can see, this is the print starting. It's at a motion capture speed that's fairly high. I think it's an image every 15 seconds. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. I'm going to show you the end result, and then at the end of this little display of the final part, you can see the moving pieces there. This was pretty impressive. Simply pulled up off the print bread, print bed, and with a little movement on the boom arm of the excavator or digger, it just snapped a little bit of filament that was holding it in place. And then with the wheels, there were a little bit more, but just a little force, and they were able to spin. So the rest of this video, it's, I don't know, about 6 minutes long, is just going to be the motion capture up to the point where the GoPro battery died. So you'll get about 60 to 70% of what the print looks like. So you feel free to watch the rest of this video and see the motion capture of the 3D print. And we would love it if you subscribe to the channel and like the video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you're curious about anything else about the 3D printer, just let me know. Put a comment below and be happy to answer any question you have. A lot of people do ask what's the material, and the material is really just a little, it's called PLA. It's just a filament, like a plastic filament that's a couple millimeters in thickness. And what the print head does, the best way to describe it, is just a hot tip that's about 210 degrees, 210, 215 degrees. It's a lot like a glue gun. So you just picture the filament being that circular, almost like a glue stick going in, getting heated up by the print head and printing 0.2 millimeters at a time, layer by layer by layer, and those layers just stack up for that 3D print. So it's really an interesting process, and it's completely in its early stages, but having a 3D printer is fun just to learn how things work and see what the future holds. Again, if you have any questions, put a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and like the video. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.